Last time I saw our next guest, he was sitting on the bench that day. He was a little woozy still. End of his season didn't finish quite the way he had hoped it would, at least from a physical standpoint, but he had a good freshman season nonetheless, on to being a sophomore now. Utah point guard Rylan Jones with us here on the Bill Riley Show. Hey, Rylan, how are you? Let me try that again. Hey, Rylan, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. The last time I saw you, you were still a little woozy, a little out of it. How long did it take you to get back to feeling normal again?
It took about another 2 weeks after the Oregon State Vegas thing. So it was a long concussion. It was probably like 5 weeks until I finally felt better.
Is that the longest you would have? I know you've had a couple in your career, but I mean, is that as bad as it had been for you?
Yeah, this was by far the worst one I've ever had.
So what was that like? You injured yourself. I think it was at Cal. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was the Cal game where you got hit like 3 times on the same play and went down. So walk us through what that was like, because I saw you after the game and you were in rough shape then, but even for a few days after that or afterwards, I know you were pretty bad as well. What was that time period like?
Yeah, no, the right after the Cal game, I was actually feeling a little bit better, and then I got home that night, and it was downhill from there for about a week and a half. A week. It was not good. No sleep. Couldn't really eat. I just did a lot of laying in bed in a black room because nothing was good. And then I kind of started to turn the corner, was able to sleep and eat, and that helped my recovery. And it just took a while. It just took a long time.
Well, you could see that. There's no doubt about that. Were you bothered by light, too? You hear that oftentimes, that light can really impact a concussion and dealing with a concussion.
I was actually kind of lucky because this time the light didn't really affect. I've had previous concussions where the light really affected me, but this time a lot of noise affected me, and the light didn't really do much. But the noise was kind of weird. I've never had that symptom before, but it went away after a couple of days, which was nice.
Well, let's hope it's the last time you and I and anybody with you are talking about symptoms of a concussion, because I know that was a scary time for you and your family as well. So looking back on the freshman year, you've had some time to kind of reflect on it just a little bit. I knew you had high expectations for yourself. I know a lot of people had high expectations for you based upon who you are and where you came from and people in the state knowing you. But as you look back on your freshman year, how did you kind of view it?
No, I thought I did better than I would, honestly. But it was just like a typical freshman season. I had a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and I just tried to get better every game and just come to work. Just trying to take as much as I can to prepare myself for the upcoming years. Freshman season's pretty big in getting experience, and I was happy to get a lot of experience this year, and I think it'll really help me in the long run. But yeah, it was just up and down, a lot of fun moments, a lot of down moments, just kind of how basketball season goes.
Did it live up to on the fun side of it what you had hoped for when you started playing college basketball?
Yeah, absolutely. This year was a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun years playing basketball. With high school, I had some great teams, but this was right up there with them. It was traveling the country, beating Kentucky and BYU and playing in Oregon against one of the best players in Pritchard. It was just kind of like a dream come true, and it was just a lot of fun.
What was your biggest takeaway from your game and what you were able to do as a freshman? But I'm sure as much as anything, you probably figured out some things that you've got to work on and get better at. What was your biggest takeaway from just your game specifically?
I thought I distributed the ball well. I always have. I've always been a pass first point guard, and I didn't know what it was going to be like in the college game, like how much faster, how much better the defenders were. And so I was a little curious to see how that was going to happen, and I thought I did pretty well. But yeah, I got to work on not turning the ball over as much, become a more consistent shooter, and just work on, all this stuff. But, just becoming a better more consistent shooter and just not turn the ball over. And then I think it'll be good from there.
Rylan Jones with us here on the Bill Riley Show today. Utah, formerly a freshman point guard, now soon to be a sophomore point guard as they head into the fall. I had your teammate and friend Jackson Brenchley on last week, and I kind of asked Jax the same question. We knew going into the season, Rylan, you guys were going to be a young team, and there'd be some ups and downs with it. But it was a really kind of a weird season. As you mentioned, you beat BYU, who turned out to be a very good basketball team at your place. You beat Kentucky on, we can call it a neutral floor, but you and I were both there that night. That was much more like a road game than it was a neutral floor with a lot of Kentucky fans there. And you had some other good home wins, but you guys struggled to win away from the Huntsman Center, especially in conference play, which is weird. So I'd just be curious, why do you think you guys, aside from being a young team, is there anything you could pinpoint as to why you were inconsistent, couldn't kind of find that chemistry on the road?
Yeah, I think we just weren't quite tough enough to gut out road wins. We were there at USC. We had that game won, and we just kind of let it slip. That just kind of hurt right there. That would have been like our third road game, and we win that game. You never know if we win on the road now. But I don't think we were quite tough enough, and we lacked a lot of experience. It was a lot of first time a lot of us ever played on the road like that, and we just didn't quite get over the hump. We didn't get enough stops on defense. But yeah, we were just right there, and we couldn't quite get over the hump, and we're going to make that jump this year.
We're talking to Rylan Jones here on the Bill Riley Show today on ESPN 700. I wanted to ask you, you had a couple of teammates leave the program in the offseason, and everybody on the outside likes to speculate. You're actually on the inside. So I want to start first with Boogaards. He announced the other day that he's going to go back home and play a little closer to home at Minnesota. You and Booth played together in the backcourt a little bit. What, if anything, can you tell us about Booth and what you saw, and maybe you talked to him and maybe you didn't, but maybe why he left the program?
That was a surprise to me. I didn't see that one coming at all. We all got along really well with him, and he had an up and down too. He was battling through a lot of injuries, and when you're battling through injuries, it's hard to play well every night. And he just, he had injuries too, and we were all just young, and it was a shock when he told us. He texted our team. He said, he was gonna get in the leave and go into the portal, and we were, I wish him the best of luck, and I hope he does really well at Minnesota. I love him like a brother. We went through a lot this year. And, it was just kind of a shock, but I wish the best for him and hope he has a successful next 2 years in Minnesota.
Yeah, I've always said, Rylan, guys have to go where they're happy. And if they're unhappy or not feeling like they fit in at a certain place, life's too short. You've got to go be where you're happy, and maybe he'll find that happiness at Minnesota. The other guy I wanted to ask you about, and he wasn't necessarily a teammate yet of yours, but you had interactions with him because he was around the program and he was an incoming recruit. And this was an odd situation because a year ago at this time he committed to the program, and then he signed his letter of intent, and everything looked to be good until a couple of weeks ago. But what if anything, can you tell us about Caleb Lohner? Maybe you've talked to Caleb, maybe you haven't. What have you heard? But it was just curious that he just decided to want out of his letter of intent.
Yeah, it was shocking to see Caleb ask for his release. We were all really excited for him to be a part of our team. And, what's kind of strange is, he had texted a couple weeks ago, me and Jackson, a couple guys, we were getting ready to live together in the summer, and he was super excited to get up here and, start working. And then, like that, it took a click of the fingers, it just changed. And, he was no longer coming. And, maybe I can imagine all the pressure he was getting from down in Provo, being a Provo kid, and that's just hard, and I understand that. But it was just completely shocking. We all were really excited for him and sad to see him go. But the sad part is, our program and Coach K, he takes a beating about this kind of stuff, and it's not really his fault. And, I love playing for Coach K. He's one of the best coaches I've ever had, and it's just hard to see that, and it was just completely a shock. And yeah, we're just going to move forward and get on with our next season. So
to be clear, you had talked to him several weeks ago, and he was planning on being at the university and was looking forward to joining you guys a few weeks ago.
Yep, we were looking forward to living together down here, looking for an apartment. Us and a couple of players, we had a couple of places lined up, and we were going to, get everything started. So,
and again, that it's odd to me, and I can't explain have any insight to it because I don't know Caleb. Did he reach out to any of you guys and explain anything, or even let you know he wasn't coming?
No, we just saw that. We just kind of heard through the grapevine when it got out there. We had no idea.
Interesting. Take us inside the locker room. As you said, Coach K takes a beating on a lot of different things. I don't know what's real and what's not, but is this a tight knit group? Is there good chemistry there within this group? And are you guys all bought in?
Yep, the chemistry we have it's really good. We've had Zoom meetings throughout the summer. We've all stayed in touch. We've all been pushing each other to go on runs. We send in our times for the couple miles here and there. We talk all the time. It's really fun. I'm really excited. We talk to Mickey out there in Finland every couple of days. He's out there playing. It's just a really good group of guys. We're all best friends. We all hang out when we're in town. I'm excited. I love all my brothers on the team, and we're looking forward to this upcoming year.
Have you gotten to know Ian Martinez a little bit? I know he's in town, and he's now able to work out in the facility because the family all moved up here from Southern California. What can you tell us about Ian and his game, and have you played much with him?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's one of the nicest and most humble kids I've ever met. He's just so thankful for everything that has happened. He just can't wait. He's been texting me all the time. And, he's texting everybody. He's texting, Luke and Cam Stoviak. He wants to just start playing, even though we can't. He's really good. I've only seen him about 2 times when he's been up here because of quarantine and all that. We don't really have gyms. But the 2 times I've seen him, he's got it all. He's really good.
Yeah, Coach said
I'm excited.
Larry said to me, he said, we haven't had an athlete like this in the 10 years I've been at Utah. Is he a pretty explosive athlete?
Yeah, whenever you can have half tied on shoes, jeans, and a jacket and go up there in 360 windmill, I think you're a pretty good athlete.
You ever done that, Rylan?
No, I've never really quite dunked. I'm just working on getting the 2-handed flush, but that's all right.
Yeah, that is okay. We're talking to Rylan Jones for a couple of more minutes. Timmy Allen and Riley Batten are kind of the upperclassmen, with your guy Fonz, who continues to post pictures of himself on the beach in Puerto Rico, clearly trying to make everybody jealous of where he is right now. So you do have a little bit of upper class leadership. Where's the leadership coming from in this weird time? Because you guys have all been separate now for about 3 months. Timmy's been initiating a lot of stuff. It's been awesome to hear from him a lot. He's been working on his game and his shot down in Arizona, and he's been working as hard as I've ever seen. And we have calls with our team, and we discuss stuff. And him and Riley are the two most vocal ones. And then it's a leadership by committee on our team. There's a lot of different guys that step in and say a lot of different things, and it's just. I'm just really looking forward to getting all of our guys back on campus and meeting Pella from Sweden. We've only seen him on a little interview one time, and I'm excited to get him in town. And, we're just excited to get ready with workouts and practice, hopefully. How much can Pele coming in kind of, lessen the load on you? You played a lot of minutes, and it clearly took a toll on you as the year went along. But, being interchangeable in the backcourt and having Pele come in because he is a point guard like you, do you look forward to the opportunity to maybe play off the ball a little bit some this year too with him here?
Yeah, I'll take what the game is thrown to us, but yeah, that would be awesome. He's really good, obviously. I think I've just seen a couple videos of him, but whenever you can have multiple point guards, it makes the game way better. You can't just have one guy or 2 guys. You need 3 or 4 ball handlers out there that can do stuff with the ball. It just makes the offense so much more crisp and smoother, and a lot more things happen. So I'm really excited to get him in town and work with him.
Do you feel like you guys are close to taking that step? I mean, you mentioned you lost a lot of close games last year as a young team. Obviously, you've got to go out and do it, but do you feel like the pieces are there for you guys to be able to take that step this year, and what's going to be key for that?
Yeah, I do, absolutely. I feel like we were right there in so many games last year, but we just didn't quite get over the hump, probably because we weren't quite tough enough. That's one thing we talked about. And, yeah, I think having this experience, all of us played a lot of minutes last year as freshmen and sophomores, and now we're sophomores and juniors. And, we're just all bigger and stronger and going to be a little tougher and a little better. And so I think we're right there to take that step and, win those road games and not lose a close one at home and go out the road and shock some people and win a big road game. I think we're right there to do it.
Jackson told me you're trying to take his money in golf. Is this true?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many shots are you giving him each side? Because he's just learning to play, and I know you've played for a while.
Yeah, no, he's getting a lot better. You know, me and him don't play for money. If we're playing with like another guy that's similar to Jackson's skill level, those two will play, and it's fun to watch. But I just enjoy having like a teammate that'll go out and play golf with me. Because in high school I had all my golf teammates, but when I got up to the U, all my golf teammates were on missions, and I didn't really have anybody to play with except for my dad. And beating my dad every time gets a little boring. So I need some new competition, and it's just fun to be out there with Jackson. He's gotten so much better. Yesterday we played last night, and he finally broke 50 on his 11th round in.
Nice.
Instead of 49 at Glendale Country Club. So we're getting there.
Yeah, well, see, I told Jackson this. You guys are good athletes, and you know you're top 1%ers. I told Jackson it wouldn't be long, and you just kind of reaffirmed that to me, Rylan. That kid's going to be a pretty good golfer in a pretty short amount of time, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's improved a lot from the first time he went 67 at Logan River to a 49 yesterday. He's getting a lot better. He made a birdie yesterday. He made 2 pars. You know, when you start doing that, you start making a little bit of birdies here and there. That means you're getting there.
Well, and then it gets addictive because then you start wanting to play more and more. And it sounds like he's kind of getting in that zone because, you know, in golf especially, even the slightest taste of success brings you back to the course immediately.
One shot literally will bring you back the next day.
Kind of like Tom Brady. Kind of like Tom Brady in that challenge, right?
Yep.
jarring it from the fairway. The guy I want to see. And does Brandon Carlson play golf?
He does Top Golf. We've talked about going.
I want to see that kid. I want to see him swing a driver because I got to see how long that driver would be. That kid is so tall and long. I'd love to see him swing a club.
If he connects that thing will go a long ways.
It really will. Hey, thanks for coming on today, Rylan. Good to hear from you. Glad things are going well. We'll catch up soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.